Putin and Xi show a unified front against Trump and Street. Petersburg, Chinese President Xi Jinping had the ultimate tour guide on his visit to the street. Petersburg Internet. The Kremlin released photos late Thursday of Putin showing Xi around his hometown, the former imperial capital of Tsarist Russia. The Chinese leaders, but the friendly atmosphere was more than just the usual display of Russian-Chinese friendship. The street. In advance of the forum, Russia and China rolled out a big announcement on Wednesday. The deal comes as one of China's most important companies is at the center of an escalating trade war between Beijing and Washington. The Trump administration has barred Huawei from any involvement in American 5G networks over spying concerns, urging U.S. allies to follow suit, while Huawei denies that its products pose any national security risk. Ban risks technological war. At this street. Petersburg Forum, let's. Putin also pivoted to a broader complaint: U.S. unilateralism, something the Kremlin leader has long accused Washington of promoting. In Putin's reading, the U.S. wants to replace a rule-based system where states are treated as equal and sovereign actors with a situation where the U.S. and other economically powerful countries dictate the terms. It's easy to see why Putin's sympathies lie with Huawei. Russia has also been on the receiving end of U.S. sanctions following the annexation of the Black Sea Peninsula of Crimea in 2014. Sanctions but Russia's investment climate shows little hope of changing. Even as Putin was, Calvi, who has been an ardent promoter of investment in Russia, was detained in Moscow in connection with a large-scale fraud investigation this February. He was moved from. Such a move would have been widely seen as a signal that Russia was ready to repair its image with investors. But that, after the delegations leave Street. Petersburg.
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park, pot.